Hello, me TBDs. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am just a hot mess. Welcome back. Yeah, okay, it hurts so bad. I was curling my hair and the wand came at me and I was not okay with it. And now we're left with this. It just keeps spreading. Like, it's literally just this. And what is this red patch? I don't know. So this is just, we're dealing with this. So try to ignore that. That's not what this video is about. Today, we're going to be testing out the brand new Natasha Denona Glam palette. This came in record time. I ordered this like the day that it launched and it came 2 days later. It was amazing. I ordered it off of Sephora. This is the fall winter vibes kind of palette. Very cool toned, lots of shimmers, and I'm very excited. Before we hop into testing out the product, be sure to subscribe because I do upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, even with an injury. And if you're enjoying the video while you're watching, you can go ahead and give it a thumbs up. We're gonna try the zooming in today. We're gonna test it out, okay? You're gonna get real up close and personal with Bertha. This is Bertha. Apparently it has a name now. Here we go. How does this look? What do we think? Okay, yes, this fits my mood. This might be wine. Is it coffee? Is it wine? We don't know. I'm like searching for Natasha Denona in my mail, like she sends me mail. No, it is Sephora. This palette retails for $65, which is on par with every other eyeshadow palette that she has come out with recently. It's kind of like the smaller, not $200 palette. I rarely dive into super cool tone palettes, so I'm very excited about this one. Cometh. Ugh. So online it says it's an everyday palette that creates super dramatic smoky eyes as well as a variety of natural and extreme glam looks. The product is cruelty-free and free of parabens. This is very interesting because the shades are named after the ideal place to apply them, helping you create glam makeup looks. It's as if having special insider makeup tips from Natasha Denona herself when you apply these shades. I don't know how I feel about this. The package looks gray, exactly like the container that it came in. Some of her palettes, I think the Love palette, was kind of like duochrome when you reflected it in the light. This is not, it's just gray. I was actually talking with Chris and we were thinking that you could combine this palette and the bronze palette and make this like ultimate cool, warm, everyday eyeshadow palette because this has some great shades and the bronze palette does too, but this is a little bit more cool and the bronze is a little bit more warm. Here we go. This is her. This is she. She is here. You get 5 matte and the rest are some kind of shimmer. In terms of the matte shades, you get everything from a light cream shade to set down your eyeshadow primer to a almost black, like a really, really dark brown. So I really like that. I feel like there's a lot you can do with the transition shades in here, as well as the shimmers. Like, you got some champagnes, you got a gold, you got some smoky whites, you got some silvers, some browns, and it just makes me very happy. This is one of the most excited I've been for one of her palettes. I just cleaned off all of my brushes just to make sure there wasn't any pigment that was coming on, like, you know, traveling with it from another palette. We don't want that. And I will insert swatches of the shades at the very end of the video just so you can get an idea of how they apply, even if I don't use all of them. And you guys, be sure to follow my Instagram. I'm back to posting consistently on Instagram, so you get to see products as they come in, behind the scenes things, and just kind of like extra stuff you don't get to see just on my channel. So if you would, you can go ahead and follow. It's just Colorado_Kate1. I don't know, Colorado Kate1. Colorado Kate was already taken. Who took it? I don't know, but I had to compromise. Like this, if you follow my Instagram, you would have seen this come in and like get to see kind of a close-up of this before I actually filmed this video. So be sure to go follow that if you were wanting kind of behind the scenes extra content. It does have a great full-size mirror, goes all the way back. It's just great for travel because it does have a magnetic closure. See, look at it. Boom. First, I'm going to take my flat packing brush and go in with the shade Transition. It's the white, like cream shade in the palette, just to set down my eyelid. I did already add some concealer as a base. The interesting thing about these shades is some of them have the same shade name. For example, we have center eyelid, outer eyelid, inner corner, crease, transition, smoke, blend, lash line, inner corner, center eyelid, outer eyelid, center eyelid, outer eyelid, brow bone. I don't know how I feel about this just because I can't like reference if I say I'm gonna go in with the shade center eyelid. There's a lot of them in here, so how are you guys gonna know? You're just not. Basically, the ones that I see repeated in this palette are center eyelid, outer eyelid, and inner corner. People have different feelings about these names. I personally would have liked something a little bit more like fall related. I realize that it's just not just a fall palette, but I would have enjoyed shade names that maybe match the time of the year a little bit more, or just match what she was trying to go for in this palette, you know? Because they're very like cool tone shades, you know? Give it some cool tone names, not just like where it's supposed to apply it. I feel like there's a throwback thing that palettes used to do a lot, and a lot of drugstore palettes specifically. They'd have a picture of a person's face on the back of the packaging and tell you like exactly where to put the eyeshadow. I don't know who put that together, but a lot of times it was wrong. So anyway, that's just kind of like the feeling that I get from this palette. I'm gonna go in with a big fluffy brush, go in with the shade Crease. It's not super deep. It's the shade right here, but it does say crease. So I'm gonna put it in the crease there. So it does apply darker than it looks in the pan. I don't know how I feel about that. It feels a little dark for the crease. That's how that shade is looking. Let's go in with the shade Blend on a different fluffy brush. It is a little bit of a lighter tan shade right there. It says Blend and it looks a little bit more warm. I wonder if this is gonna be a good shade to kind of lighten up and warm up the crease there. Ooh, okay, I do like that. I'm gonna take a pointy brush and go in with the shade Smoke. I'm gonna put this in the outer V, which I realize that other shades say outer eyelid, but you know what? We're just gonna go in here and smoke it out. Even just like these mattes alone would make a really nice look. All of these mattes are blending really nicely. They are very pigmented. It's a little bit more smoky than I'd go for in an everyday look, but I'm not mad about it. I do like the shades. Even that would be kind of a lighter smoky eye look, which I do really like. I like that smoke shade a lot, and I like the shade Blend. The crease shade is just kind of It really just deepened up my crease a lot. Now, I might go back in with a different fluffy brush and take the shade Transition. It's the white like cream shade that we use to set down the eyeshadow base, but I kind of want to use this as, because it says Transition, so I wonder if I can use it like right here just to help transition the shade Crease into my crease a little more. I do feel like it lightened up a little bit. There's a lot of shimmer shades here. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to use an inner corner. I might go in with this inner corner because it's just really icy white. The other inner corner shade is kind of a pink champagne, which I don't know if that would go well in the inner corner. I've never used a pink shade like that. I might use center eyelid, this one, on the center eyelid. Like this is a nice kind of neutral shade. Ooh, that's gonna be really pretty. I love Natasha Denona shimmers. They are something else. Okay, why are you not something else? Shade, maybe I'm just not. It does say center eyelid, so I'm kind of building it up in the center. That shade is pretty. It's not amazing. It's just kind of like, it's there. It's just living its life. Bertha is growing, I feel like. What the heck? She becoming her own being. Let's take the shade Inner Corner on my finger. It looks like this. It's a very icy white. I'm gonna take my fluffy brush and just kind of blend that. I feel like it was not very well blended when I applied it with my finger. And then we have the shade Outer Eyelid. I think I'm going to take maybe this brown right here. It is a brown shimmer. Now, I don't really like to put shimmers in my outer V. It just looks a little odd to me, but I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna take my MAC 217 brush, coat that on there. That smoked out the outer V really nice. I'm gonna go ahead back in with that shade Center Eyelid just to make sure that I didn't lose any of that pigment there. I am not incredibly like shocked about this center eyelid shade right here. I'm just not loving that. So I think I'm going to go in with the shade Inner Corner. I'm just like drawn to this. It is the other peachy champagne shade right here. I'm gonna add that on top just to add a little sparkle. I feel like the other center eyelid shade was just not giving me that. Now that's what I expect a little bit more from a Natasha Denona eyeshadow. I'm going to take my flat definer, go in with the shade Lash Line right here. And I'm going to add this to the top right here, like right in the top kind of outer portion of my lashes. This is a nice shade that defined my lash line a little bit more. I'm going to go in with the shade Lash Line again on the same brush and just very lightly have it out here at the outer part of my lower lash line. And I'm going to take my pencil brush with the shade, maybe mix Smoke and Blend together, the other two mattes, and smoke and blend it out. So I did get my brown liner from LA Girl. This is the LA Girl Glide Gel Liner in shade Brown. I'm gonna add this to my waterline. Haven't done a smoky eye like this in a while. Look at that. Look at the difference between eyeliner and no eyeliner. I'm gonna go ahead and add my mascara to my top and bottom lashes. This is the finished eye look. I do really like how it turned out. I will say I wish that granted I only used a few of them in my look today, but this like center eyelid shade specifically, I wish it was better. Like it just didn't seem nearly as pigmented as some of the other Natasha Denona shadows that I know are really, really pigmented. I do think crease was a little deep, like at least for my skin tone. I'm super fair. I would have preferred something like Blend. Like I wish Blend was crease instead, because Blend to me is just a little bit more of a warmer, kind of everything goes with it kind of shade. The shade names, while they are meant to be helpful, sometimes it just gets in the way of what you would really want to do in the palette because they're labeled a certain way, like you should use them there. But I can see it being super helpful if you are very new to makeup and eyeshadow and you don't really know what to use. But for myself, it just seemed like, oh, I really would have maybe used the shades differently if they weren't named a certain way. I mean, I like what I used today. So let's see how the rest of them swatch. Let's go and swatch the first row, which has 3 shimmers and 2 mattes. So that is the first row of shades. Now I'm going to swatch the second row, which has 3 mattes and 2 shimmers. And this is the second row in the palette. And the last row has all shimmer shades. And this is the last row in the palette. So honestly, the shades that stand out to me the most in this palette are, I really like the shade Center Eyelid, this one. I really, really love the shade Inner Corner right here. I like the shade Blend and Smoke. This gold shade, oh my gosh, is so pretty. It's called Center Eyelid. And then I do really like the shade Brow Bone and Outer Eyelid, these two. So there are some definite hits in this palette, and I can tell that the shimmer formula is a little different. They're not all the same. Like the shade Center Eyelid, this gold one right here, is a very different formula than the shade Center Eyelid, which I used on my eye today. So you could see like they are very different in terms of how pigmented they are. Like this is definitely more subtle than this one. So there are some different shimmer formulas in this palette. I do like the shades a lot, actually. So I would say if you are into a little bit more of a smoky eye, if you like having, you know, neutral shades that you can pick from every day, I do think that this palette has a lot to offer for a lot of different kinds of eye looks. So I'm happy I have it. I am going to definitely continue to use it. Probably every day is not going to be this cool tone for me. I do like that they included some warm transition matte shades in the palette and it's not just all cool tones. But yeah, I do really like the palette. I would say I probably like the bronze one a little more than this, but I do like this one a lot, and I do think that most of the shimmers are really, really nice. And the mattes perform amazing as always. So yeah, if you guys have tried out this palette, please let me know your thoughts down below. If you like it, what do you think? I know she comes out with a lot of palettes. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.